Alright, hopefully you're watching this video because you've donated some money or some time or joined up with our cause. I'm Mike Babcock, and I'm kind of partnering with James Rockwell, a friend of mine. We're running a 50-mile trail race over in Alabama to raise money for a foundation called the Getting to Try Foundation, which is a nonprofit out of Atlanta, Georgia. Jimmy kind of came up with this idea a while back. He wanted to run a 50-mile race. He called me and said, let's run a 50-mile race. So I said, okay. And a couple of days later I said, well, how about let's not just run the race, let's raise some money for a charity. And we bounced some charities back and forth, and Jimmy had some experience with this group, Getting to Try. He'd volunteered for one of their, half Ironman in Augusta earlier this summer, and had helped out with the charity there, helped out with some of their athletes during the transition stages in the triathlon there, and just thought it was a really cool group. Getting to Try, it was started by a guy named Mike Lenhart a couple years ago in Atlanta, and basically he saw a lack, or sort of a vacuum in athletics, basically dealing with people who are physically challenged. His organization helps people who have lost, limbs, amputees, paraplegics, people with other neurological disorders, and gets them involved in sports, provides mentoring, coaching, training, all that through his nonprofit. And once a year he has a training camp over at Georgia Tech. He brings in, this past year there were about 25 athletes who were there, and again, brings in some coaches, brings in a lot of really highly respected and credentialed athletes to help out the newcomers in that area. Coaches them, trains them, they do some mentoring, like I said, and it's just a really cool organization. So whenever this was, a month and a half ago or so, when James talked to me about this and mentioned the Getting to Try Foundation, and I said, yeah, that sounds like a cool deal. And then I said, if they can provide us with some dry fit t-shirts, it's a done deal. So Mike Lenhart was so nice to give us some t-shirts, and so here we are raising money. And so far we've raised about a little over $2 grand for their cause, for their organization. And just getting into what the race is that we're doing. It's called the Dizzy 50s. It's a 50-mile race. They also do a 50-kilometer race at the same time, and a 40-mile race. It's over near Huntsville, Alabama. If you know anything about Alabama, it's in northern Alabama, pretty hilly in that part of the state. Some nice trails, a lot of single track, and the race itself is, we'll be doing 5 laps of a roughly 10-mile course. Elevation over each lap, over each 10-mile lap, is about 700 feet of elevation gain. It's nothing too crazy, but it's definitely not going to be easy. Weather should be beautiful. It's supposed to start out in the 40s and get up to maybe 60 tomorrow, maybe some rain tomorrow afternoon. The race itself should take us, we're hoping, right about 10 hours. A little under would be ideal, and it's kind of important to go in under 10 hours because that's the cutoff. That's when the sunset happens. So if we're not around 10 hours, we get kicked off the course and feel like complete failures. So somewhere about 9:30, maybe 10 hours is the goal. I guess the running portion of it, it's just, we've both done a lot of 50Ks, a lot of marathons, and this is just kind of stepping it up another notch. Be adding about, 16, 17 miles to our longest runs. Probably the most important thing that I'm concerned with right now is just trying to get enough food in today. If you're running for 10 hours, I'm estimating we'll probably burn through probably close to 10,000 calories. Maybe a little bit less. So today it's just been a lot of eating, kind of eating constantly, eating everything. Just finished a bag of chips, had some cookies earlier, Started off with cereal, bagel, OJ, a lot of coffee today. Let's see, what else? Can of soup for lunch, sandwich. I know I've eaten more than that. 3 bananas on my 3rd banana. Just kind of been snacking all day. Pretzels, chips are good. Try to get in as much sodium as you can. And fluids, obviously, a lot of water today, a lot of Gatorade. Seems like I'm missing something. I don't know, but again, it's just kind of hard to train yourself to eat that much in one day. Probably try to have something pretty healthy, but kind of high calorie tonight. I don't even know what we're gonna have for dinner. I brought some sweet potato sort of casserole I made, and probably try to find a restaurant up here in Huntsville that's relatively healthy. You know, just get in some more calories this evening, and obviously it's a 4-hour drive from Atlanta to Huntsville, so probably get up there and stretch a bit, try to get off my butt get out of this car. And I don't know, that's about it. The other night, we had dinner, me, James, and Mike, and then he brought one of his athletes with him, a guy named Marshall, who I'd met before at a group swim. Marshall's a little bit younger, had a car accident and ended up with spinal injury. He's what Mike referred to as being functionally paraplegic, so he races in a wheelchair. He's done a lot of marathons, half Ironman competitions, stuff like that. Real gifted athlete, real nice guy. And yeah, it's just cool to know that we're, you know, helping out people like that are just, you know, they're, you know, dedicated athletes like all of us. It's just a little bit harder for them to find, you know, either mentors that are in their same sport or, you know, coaches that are familiar with it, and even things that you don't even think about, like, you know, how do you get fitted to a racing wheelchair, or, you know, if something's, you know, broken on the wheelchair, so, you know, where do you go to get that stuff fixed? Well, that's kind of some of the other connections that Mike makes through the Getting to Try Foundation. So, I don't know, there's just kind of an example of what it does, and I guess what you all are donating for. So, again, greatly appreciate it, and we'll try to have some more exciting video tomorrow from the race. Hopefully meeting up with James tonight, and also the lovely and talented Rachel Heim will be there. That's Jimmy's girlfriend. She's providing our kind of logistical support for the race. She'll be hopefully taking care of our food and hydration and all that. She is also a heck of an ultra marathoner herself. And who knows, hopefully she'll maybe pace us through the last 10 miles of this race. God only knows I'm going to need it. So yeah, hopefully in the next shot you'll get to meet them and get some more insight. And then tomorrow at, I forget, 6:30 or 7, it's time to run. So I guess I should pay attention to where I'm going right now and continue this video later. Thank you.